There's few joys in life that feel like they end too quickly. Eating a great meal, a great show that got prematurely cancelled, and for FC Barcelona fans, this current season. That's right, for FC Barcelona, their season has quickly turned from an exciting and promising one where they look to turn themselves back into a dominating figure in world football, to one where they're slowly getting dragged back into their banter era. For many before the season started, it really felt like Barcelona didn't have a chance to be a favorite in any of the competitions they were in for a variety of reasons. In La Liga and Spain, you had the looming threat of Madrid's Galacticos 3.0, and in the Champions League, you had Madrid, of course, and countless other sides which at the time all felt like they could get the better of Barcelona if it came down to it. I even made a video where I discussed how, for a handful of reasons, I didn't see Barcelona overcoming the obstacle of Madrid, specifically in La Liga. But with all that being said, to start off the season, or at least up until recently, Barcelona were on a mission to prove everyone wrong. They were having such a great season, and essentially the opposite of what I mentioned and what people expected really transpired. It felt like it was going to be impossible for anyone to stop this Barcelona side that was just absolutely on fire. Yet, as many great men have said in the past, history is always bound to repeat itself if we don't learn from the past. And slowly but surely, issues began to creep up within this Barcelona side, which has created this feeling that their season is slowly derailing in front of all of our eyes. So the question has to be asked, what the heck is going on at Barcelona? And real quick, boys, if you're new to the channel, enjoying the video, enjoying the content, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We're dropping weekly football videos, so make sure you hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss an upload. And if you're not new to the channel, boys, welcome back. Glad to have you around for another video. With that being said, boys, let's get into the tumultuous season that Barcelona is having so far. So like I mentioned, Barcelona started off on some crazy form, to the point where really no one could chat to them. From August to November, Barcelona would only lose 2 out of their first 14 matches in all competitions, but most impressively, they would win the other 12 matches. Matter of fact, in this period, they would get 3 massive wins against some very good opponents, including beating Atletico Bilbao on the second match day of La Liga, and also beating Bayern Munich 4-1 and Real Madrid 4-0 at the Bernabeu within the span of just about 4 days.
You all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
There was no one safe from them at the beginning of the season, and that comes down to a couple of reasons. First of all, under Hansi Flick, the attack was firing on all cylinders. Flick ball had Barca's attacking trio of Lewandowski, Rafinha, and a 17-year-old Lamine Yamal moving like the Avengers. They would have gone to score 55 goals in their first 16 matches, which was the most they had registered since the 1950-51 season. These guys were slapping up everyone, and aside from the results that I just mentioned, they also mollywhopped Real Valladolid 7-0, Girona 4-1, Villarreal 5-1, Sevilla 5-1, and Young Boys in the Champions League 5-0. And of course, results like this wouldn't be possible without a squad that's fully balanced. Barca have had the benefit of a healthy Pedri in the midfield, who has 100% returned to the form that we have expected from him. Additionally, behind Pedri, we've seen the emergence of Casado, who's yet another product from La Masia.
You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all.
Who's come straight into the team and made an impact. His defensive work in the midfield, while also being able to get Barcelona forward when they have the ball, is something that is very much beneficial to the side. And then behind these two in the midfield, you have the defense, who have probably just flagged us for offside. So Barcelona's backline, bar Cubarsí, isn't breathtaking. Of course, you have Balde, Inigo Martinez, Cubarsí, and Koundé back there, who individually don't send shivers down your spine, but as a unit have been locked in this year, or at least they were at the beginning of the season. That highline offside trap that Flick drilled into this team was virtually impenetrable for some time, and it really drew headlines when they led to Mbappe being offside 8 times in a Clásico. It didn't matter who they were playing against, Barcelona was going to run this setup no matter what, because this is what they were confident in. And yet, seemingly at the height of their powers, when it all looked like it was going well, everything just started to go wrong. Because since November, Barca have lost 4, drawn 2, and won only 5 of their matches. That alone is a pretty bad record, especially after reaching such highs earlier in the season, but it gets so much worse when you look at the results in isolation. Losses to Las Palmas and Leganes when you're meant to be a massive footballing threat are just not good enough. And this Barca side also went into their winter break having just lost to Atleti 2-1 at home, which was the first time Atleti had beaten Barca at their ground since 2006. So what the heck happened? For as good as Barcelona were to keep true to their system and not switch it up despite how the match was going, eventually this very intense style of play would catch up to them. First off, we can't ignore the injury problems that they've had, with the biggest one being Lamine Yamal. Yamal at just 17 is incredible, and what he offers to attack is honestly second to none. Having been on the sideline for almost 2 months this season already due to an ankle injury, Barca have had to use players like Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres to try and fill his shoes, and it's just simply not cutting it, which is partially why their scoring output has reduced so significantly. Additionally, Barca have players like Hector Fort and Christensen out as well, which has put more strain on their back line, specifically the center backs. While Cubarsí and Martinez started off the season on fire, the high line offside system that they play has slowly eaten away at them, and you can see them more and more fatigued as the season goes on. Add to this the fact that over the course of a season, teams sort of just pick up on the way you play, on the triggers for your offside trap, and it's easier for them to pick you apart as the season goes on. And this was evidently clear when Barca did lose to Atleti, like I mentioned, when at the death of the match, the fresh legs that Sorloth was providing for Atletico Madrid was absolutely terrorizing Barcelona's back line. You could see them kind of burning out in that match. It's crazy. So I'm sure they greatly appreciated that winter break where they can really finally get a rest. And maybe Barcelona could use the January window to bring in some depth for the squad, but I really don't see that happening unless it's someone from La Masia. Because when it rains, it pours in Barca, and I really see them struggling to fortify their squad, and nothing represents that issue more than the ongoing situation with Dani Olmo. So in case you've been living under a rock or just don't know, Dani Olmo was signed by Barcelona this past summer and is currently, as we speak, a free agent. So you might be asking yourself, why is Barcelona's star summer signing that cost them 55 million euros currently able to sign for free for any club in the world after being at Barcelona for just 6 months? Well, because of issues that we've discussed in the past for Barcelona, finances. They cannot afford to register Olmo. So Olmo, who wants to be at Barcelona and who in my opinion is a great fit for the squad and has had some good games for the team already, has frozen out the squad alongside Pau Victor because of finances. The La Liga and the Spanish Federation gave Barcelona a pass in the summer when they signed these two, allowing them to play until December 31st, so long as Barcelona could pass, the financial restrictions and guidelines that are set by La Liga. And despite having pulled another lever by selling off VIP boxes at the new Camp Nou, Barcelona's efforts have been futile and La Liga has still said no, meaning they can't register Olmo, which leaves the door open to his departure because there's a clause in his contract that allows him to do so. But if he does leave, Barcelona are screwed. They would still owe Olmo 41 million euros in wages until 2030 and would still owe Leipzig 47 million euros as part of his transfer fee. Add to this everything else that Barcelona owes and the tab just keeps getting higher and higher. So you can see how building out a squad, specifically in the transfer window, is going to be nearly impossible for this Barcelona side in the future. The problem's just going to keep getting worse and worse. So what does Barcelona need to do to get things on track? First of all, give your players a rest as best as you can. Upcoming Champions League games, they don't really matter too much if you've already secured a place in the top 8. Rest your center backs. Bring in some people from La Masia. I'll play. Give me a call. I'll come out and play for you guys, but those center backs need a rest. Some of your attackers need a rest as well. Lewandowski, Rafinha, etc. Those guys need to rest, and in these games like Copa del Rey and these last bit Champions League games, they need to rest. On top of that, just wait it out, and hopefully the players when they come back can still provide enough for the squad to boost morale and to boost results, specifically Yamal. Once he comes back, you need to make sure the squad is set up to start firing on all cylinders again, because they need to pick up heavy where they left off. They got passed by Atletico Madrid, so they're no longer top of the table. Real Madrid is hot on their heels and they're starting to pick up some form as well. The Barcelona really need to lock in because this second half of the season is going to be tough, and if they bottle La Liga after that start that they had where everyone was going crazy, it's going to be tough for them.